Sorry, people, for keeping you waited. Uh, so, good evening, good afternoon, good day, good night, wherever you are from around the world. So, I just wanted to start a new series uh, for those who are living alone, right? If you're the only person living in your entire apartment, then you're considered living alone, right? So, we face a different set of challenges, particularly in a pandemic period, right? Normally, if you're either going to a school or university, or if you're office going to office, or you have some work that you could go to every day, so you that's a different life than when you're inside all day for weeks and weeks, right? It's a different challenge. So I wanted to share some tips from my experience so far, of how to navigate through this period, and different uh, experiences and different tips pertaining to these topics that I'm going to just uh, tell you: home exercises, cooking, nutrition, tips to staying safe, and any breakthroughs during the pandemic period, particularly for the disease, right? If there are any vaccine developments, or if there's any sort of developments for the virus in particular, or for the pandemic. Grocery shopping, and yeah, and definitely not the last, entertainment, right? So home exercises, right? Like, we are staying alone, and I particularly think it's important to uh, have some sort of exercise on a daily basis for your overall well-being, for your mental well-being and your physical state of body. So I'm going to touch upon this in subsequent videos. Cooking. So most of us may have relied on a external source for food, right? Like, for example, if you're a college student, you probably would have relied on your canteen or cafeterias in your university. If you are an office goer, you probably had some cafeteria inside your office. And in general, if you are just working from home, you probably would have ordered something online, right? So now we have a different challenge. We have to learn cooking if you are not used to cooking. So I'm going to try to post some cooking recipes, simple recipes that you can try. And third is the nutrition. The nutrition is something that should not be confused with cooking, right? So cooking is just about how to cook food, how to prepare meal. But nutrition is something else. It is about what sort of food that we should plan for our cooking. What are the different ingredients to use, uh, and what are the different nutrients to consume on a daily basis? What are the essential ingredients and what are the non-essential ingredients? So all these different diets that some people follow, but in general, what are the main nutrients that we have to make sure we are consuming on a daily basis to stay healthy, and make sure our immunity levels are normal, right? Then tips to stay safe, like social distancing. Any new tips that I can think of, I'll try to share them. And breakthroughs during the pandemic. This is the novel coronavirus, and so far there has been no vaccine yet, as we know. I'm going to tone down on the virus or the disease or the statistics around the disease, mainly because it is not a fun thing to do. I'm sure you all are watching news or reading about it elsewhere, so I do not want to touch upon that and make you feel more miserable, I would say. So, yeah, then grocery shopping. What to keep in mind when you're doing your grocery shopping? What sort of uh, what are the different things that you have to be conscious about when you are going into a store versus when you're ordering from online. And finally, about entertainment, I primarily have been watching Netflix. So I have, I would prefer, of late, I've been than something like a different genre like horror or mystery or thrillers, which are probably more scarier and it's gonna not probably the right things to watch during a pandemic. So I have a couple of cheerful lists that I've prepared that I've watched so far, which I find it very useful. So I'm going to share those as well. All right, this is the introduction to the series and the playlist. Stay tuned for more videos. Thank you. Stay safe and